Hi, and welcome to another free.volous webisode. Today I'm going to do sort of a roundup of several products that have been really raved about in 2016. Things that I've been really tempted to buy, but because I'm sort of an average consumer, I take my time just reading and watching videos on the things. And these things are sort of consensual all around, but I think that there are some aspects of each product that can be a deal breaker for you when doing that purchase. And there are things that probably you weren't thinking about, or that some people that you follow probably didn't mention about those products. So this is not trashing the products at all. I'm very happy with all my purchases, but this is another perspective on those products. So let's jump into them, shall we? The first thing is the very raved about, I don't know why I'm talking about this, Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This was a hit last year, and for a good reason. When you think about the prices, I've been looking around, and the cheapest I found was at Beauty Bay for 48 euros. And this is about the price of Too Faced palettes sold here in Portugal at Sephora, and cheaper than, say, an Urban Decay naked palette. For instance, those are just some references of very well-known products. The difference I find in these sorts of palettes is that the Anastasia is far more consistent when it comes to performance and the quality of the eyeshadows. I'm sorry, my dog is wandering around. So when you buy something, one of the Too Faced palettes, some of the, not all of course, but one or two shades are a bit patchy. Maybe another shade doesn't have a lot of payoff. With these eyeshadows, they are all extremely pigmented. They all stand on their own. They are strong as they look on the pan, basically. You get 16 shadows on a Too Faced palette. On this one, you get 14. You are paying about €3.40 per eyeshadow with this palette, and about €4.80 or €4.90 per gram of product, because each pan here only has 0.7 grams of product. But these eyeshadows are very, very pigmented. They have an insane color payoff, which can be a downside for some people who are more heavy-handed and just want something very light on their eyes and just go out the door. These eyeshadows are quite pigmented, but they are very easy to blend. So you're going to use a lot less product, I think. And at the same time, you can pack on 3 pounds of product on your eye, and then you just gently swipe for a couple of seconds, a clean blending brush, and it's blended in. So the quality and performance is brilliant. When it comes to packaging, this is, they haven't invested stupidly in packaging. This is a smart investment. Despite the velour kind of thing that grabs onto any kind of product that may come in contact with it, despite that, and despite being cardboard, this is a quite sturdy packaging, and that's really good, because the eyeshadows themselves are a bit frail because they're very soft and powdery. They can break easily, but they are quite well protected inside this this case. I think that basically all the colors in here are great for almost every skin tone. This is not casting some people aside, which is great. The turning point for some people is the color selection itself. Of course, Anastasia has other palettes, but having this one, because this was the one that was raved about, I would say if you don't like warm colors, you're not going to like this. And if you don't like this sort of trio here, which are the outstanding colors in this palette, and if you already have a lot of neutrals, probably you won't like this palette. I should say that the shimmery colors, which are 2 shimmery metallic colors, are very strong. They stand on their own. They're not sort of top coat shades just to give a little bit of sheen to the underlying colors. That's something to keep in mind. They are very bold and very strong and impactful. The neutrals are amazing. They have several colors that can be used as transition. They can also be used as standalone colors. They have a brow bone highlighter, which is matte, but this Vermeer color is quite shimmery, so you can use it as a highlighter also. And Primavera is also possible to use as a highlighter for darker skin tones, which is really good. I think this is a very well-made palette. It's a great all-rounder. Apart from the color selection on this palette, which may be your deal breaker, because when it comes to quality, it's all there. There is one thing that I haven't heard anybody talk about, and it probably is because most of the influencers and YouTubers are young and they don't have a lot of skin issues, especially around the eyes. The thing is, these eyeshadows, when packed on your lids, when you want that huge pop of color on your lids, if you have any sort of texture on that area, some dryness or even wrinkles, these eyeshadows will make them stand out a little bit, a bit like matte liquid lipstick would on your lips. If you already have a little bit of texture on your lips, these eyeshadows can do that for you. So if you're looking for eyeshadows that really pop, that are really intense, keep this in mind. Everybody talks about the fact that they kick off a bit of powder if you're light-handed. I haven't had that issue, but I understand why it can be an issue, that you can sort of go around by doing your eyes first and then your face makeup. Apart from that, what I would like to say is that if you have oily lids, you should use an eyeshadow primer underneath, just because these eyeshadows are so buttery and soft that they may transfer if you have a heavy fold on your eyes. So that's another thing that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about, and that I have noticed with this palette. Next product is the RMS Living Luminizer. This is a cream highlighter. There you go. There, half of you already don't like this, and this is a very subtle cream highlighter. So another half of you that don't like this product already. This is not going to be seen from space. This basically gives you a very hydrated glow with an added tinge of pearlescence onto the high points of the face. The other amazing thing, which is a pro and a con, is that this product does not set. So by that, you pat this onto your face. You shouldn't put this over powder nor set this with powder. Just keep that in mind, because it will sort of patch up, and they state that when they talk about the product, the actual brand. But when you apply this onto your to the high points of your cheeks, for instance, this will stay on as sort of a moisturizer that doesn't get absorbed by the skin. So that's how it stays, and because of that, because it stays sort of liquid or creamy on your cheeks, it doesn't settle into your fine lines like a powder would after a bit, or as a cream to powder tends to do. So this has that advantage of not settling into the fine lines and making you look really glowy and healthy without having that heavy, strong, shimmering strip of white or champagne on your face. So it's really subtle in that sense. The con with that is something that I think many people would be concerned about, which is because this does not set, sometimes your hairs get stuck on it. So bear that in mind if you're thinking of buying this highlighter. This RMS brand has a lot of clean and sort of green ingredients. They're concerned about the ingredients on their products, and it's really interesting, but it is so expensive that I would tell you, if you can, go into a store, apply it onto your cheekbones, walk out the door and see how you deal with it, because it can be a deal breaker for you. And I think this is the perfect thing for those people who just want to apply a little bit of foundation or concealer, mascara, a little bit of highlight on the tops of the cheekbones, lip balm, and out the door. But if you don't like that constant feeling of sort of not stickiness, but you know what I mean, on the tops of your cheeks, you may not like this product. The other product that I have here is the Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder, another one that has been stupidly raved about. And I have a big pro and a big con when it comes to this powder. The big pro is that the shades are exactly what I find, for my personal skin tone, to be great to create a shadow underneath my cheekbones. So spot on when it comes to the shades. I think they have light and medium. I don't know if they've come out with a darker color, but at least the light and medium will cater to a lot of skin tones. The downside of this one, and I haven't again heard a lot of people talk about that, is that this is quite pigmented, more pigmented than I would usually go for in a face powder product. And at the same time, it's not that easy to blend. So there is a way to go around it, but just keep that in mind. This should be applied over powder. You have to set the area where you're going to apply this, because this will cling on to the foundation, to any creamy product you may have underneath, and this will, while you try to blend it out, because it is so pigmented and intense, you will have some difficulty in not to sort of lift the foundation off of its place. I think most people don't notice this because, again, most people that are here on YouTube have amazing skins, and they don't have hyperpigmentation right on the cheeks. So they don't notice when their foundation is lifted off. The other thing that I would say is to use, a very light brush with it. Something like this. This is the Real Techniques, Duo Fiber brush. And I think this is the perfect brush to use with this, because first, it's dual fiber. It doesn't have a lot of bristles packed onto its top, and you can really, with a very gentle touch, apply it on its top and then flip it over and blend it upwards without picking up too much product. If you go for something like this, which is the average contour brush, I think you will pick up too much powder, and again, because it's so densely packed, it will start to rub away your foundation when you try to blend the product. So those are my 2 cents on the Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder. Yes. Next would be the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Revolution lipsticks. I have the little lipstick charms here. I am assuming that the formula is the same in the full-size tube, or else this review will not serve you of any purpose. And these are adorable. And I've got 3 colors here. My 2 favorites are Very Victoria, the nude I'm wearing, and also Red Carpet Red, which is basically your standard red. And although they are called Matte Revolution lipsticks, I must say that these are not matte when applied. The moment you apply them, they look like a standard creamy lipstick that has a sort of satin finish to it. That's because these lipsticks, despite being matte, are really emollient. That shine will sort of wear down after about, 15 minutes, the time that your lips take to suck in that moisture, or you can blot them immediately and you get immediately that matte effect to them. The thing is, because they are very emollient, you won't get that color payoff that you are probably expecting from a matte lipstick. So you probably will notice that, for instance, for the red, let me show you, you will need to layer the product. It has color, but can you see it's slightly sheer? And then you can build up to full color. So that's one thing that can be seen as a pro or a con, because if you're looking for a full impact color, this will not be right off the bat your choice. If you want something that you can build up and you can tone down easily, this is a great choice. These are quite long wearing. I've worn the red one. Of course, the darker colors are more long wearing. I've worn the red one for, 4 or 5 hours, I want to say. The other day I went to work, so I do dubbing and voiceovers, and I talk a lot, and it was still there. Of course, it fades throughout the day. It's not as bright and as impactful, but it was there, and it had worn off a little bit on the inside, around the place where you have a little bit of saliva flowing and you're talking and there's friction, and it wears off. It's more than natural, and it doesn't bother me at all. So they are quite long wearing. They are quite emollient, as I said, but that feeling wears off along with the satin finish of the lipstick. So as the day goes by, you will notice that your lips will start to feel a bit drier. That's when you'll feel the need to reapply the lipstick, basically. The last thing is, again, something that I haven't heard anybody talk about, which is the dark colors, because the nudes are the nudes and there's no need for that, but I wouldn't apply a darker color without a lip pencil. Because they are so emollient, the darker colors tend to slightly slip through the little wrinkles around my lips. It's not too severe in the sense that when I apply lip pencil, everything is fine, but it's something that does happen. Yeah, that's it. This is my alternative perspective. I hate the word alternative right now. Do you feel me? Anyway, I hope these pros and cons have been a little bit more helpful than just, this is beautiful and I love it and you need to have it, because there are some things that really weigh down our decisions and we need to keep them at check. And I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for spending this little bit with me. If you haven't, please do subscribe and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!